to inter-school English parliamentary debate competition. You all know that English version and the Samsulaka School and College is committed to develop students' hidden treasure by arranging huge co-curricular activities. Among them, English parliamentary debate competition is one of the most significant parts. Today's intra-English version debate competition is going to be held between the students of class 6 and 7. Ladies and gentlemen, today's motion before the House is strict law is the best way to avoid traffic jam.
Now, I would like to call upon the Prime Minister of the House, Abrar Nafiz Turzo, to deliver his speech on today's motion.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. Today's motion is the strict law is the best way to avoid traffic jam. As the Prime Minister, I will define today's motion and explain some points regarding it. My Law Minister will describe how can we avoid traffic jam by implementing a strict law, and my member of Treasury Balance will describe the solution by implementing a strict law and some data regarding it. So, Honorable Speaker, as a Prime Minister, I would like to define today's motion. At first, what is a strict law? A strict law is a law which forces the people to follow it. Citizens are bound to obey the strict law by the government. Next comes the best way. Best way means the greatest way or super way. Remove means to avoid means to remove, and at last comes the traffic jam. Traffic jam is a very common problem in our country. While a large amount of vehicles move along a narrow road and get stuck, it is called traffic jam. Honorable Speaker, traffic jam is a very common urban problem in our country as well as developing and underdeveloping country. Honorable Speaker, it is a problem of the developing country. As our social and economic development, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, according to the Daily Pothomalo on 25 March 2018, we have lost 37,000 crore taka, 50 lakh working hours, and 9 affected human behaviors. So, Honorable Speaker, it is clear that traffic jam destroys our economy a lot. Honorable Speaker, it doesn't destroy only our economy, but it also destroys our environmental stability by making different kinds of environmental pollution. So, Honorable Speaker, what are the main reasons behind this traffic jam? The main reasons behind this traffic jam are excess vehicles, insufficient and narrow road according to the necessity, and, Honorable Speaker, the most influential reason is the lack of strict law and its implementation. Honorable Speaker, the population of our country is increasing day by day. As a result, the public and private vehicles are also increasing. So, Honorable Speaker, to overcome these circumstances, we must implement a strict law. Without implementing a strict law, we can never solve this problem. These strict laws are always maintained in the countries like Canada, USA, UK, and so on. Honorable Speaker, if these laws are broken in that countries, then the traffic police must take proper steps against them without any delay.
Honorable Speaker, the Prime Minister of the House is again and again trying to say that strict law is the best way to avoid traffic jam. But, Honorable Speaker, he is not trying to understand that strict law can never be only a particular thing to remove the problem of the traffic jam, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the traffic jam doesn't occur only for a particular reason. It occurs for many other reasons, Honorable Speaker. For example, increasing of cars and pollution, populations, narrow roads, signals, road work, lane closure, due to utility of work, accidents, and so on, Honorable Speaker. So, Honorable Speaker, in each and every case, the strict law may not work properly. And, Honorable Speaker, we know the condition of our country, Bangladesh. Each and every year, we cause thousands of accidents due to these types of laws, Honorable Speaker. And, Honorable Speaker, by seeing these laws, our government passes lots of laws each and every year, Honorable Speaker. And, Honorable Speaker, in the time of implementation, we get zero result, Honorable Speaker. So during this types of situation of our country, how can we depend on this strict law for removing the problem of this type of problem like traffic jam, Honorable Speaker? Speaker, for removing the problem of the traffic jam, we can implement the implementation of the strict law can never be enough solution. For solving this problem, we will be in need of rail network and a tunnel, enough parking lot, develop of the behavior of the vehicle owner, good traffic system, mass awareness, and digitalization, Honorable Speaker. Our country has a least percentage of the consciousness, and Honorable Speaker, due to this reason, our government is still failure to improve such things for the development of our country and remove the problem of the such a problem like traffic jam, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Speaker, the leader of the opposition again and again said that the strict law is not the best way to avoid traffic jam. He tries to tell that the mass awareness is the best way to avoid traffic jam. But Honorable Speaker, we cannot understand how it is possible in our country as like as the developing countries where socio-economic condition and infrastructure development is not up to the mark, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, even the population and public and private vehicles are increasing day by day. In this real situation, mass awareness is the best way to avoid traffic jam. Honorable Speaker, we think it is nothing but the imagination. So, Honorable Speaker, our speech is if we want to confront these challenges, we have to make strict law and implement this law. Then we can avoid traffic jam. Honorable Speaker, in our country, most of the drivers are uneducated. They have no driving skills and no driving license. Not only that, Honorable Speaker, in our country, most of the local vehicles of urban and the rustic areas are licenseless. Even most of the residentials of our country, they do not use the foot overbridge and zebra crossing to cross the road. Even most of the traffic law forces agencies are corrupted. They do not work properly. This is the reality of our country, Honorable Speaker. Even overtaking tendency and reckless driving is another real incident of our country. Honorable Speaker, in this real situation, how can our opposition team avoid traffic jam without strict law, mass awareness, digitalization? No, Honorable Speaker, it is totally impossible.
Honorable Speaker, there are approximately 500,000 of rickshaws in the city of Dhaka and 182,000 of motor vehicles in this city, Honorable Speaker. If we look at the roads of Dhaka, then we can see that there are only 7% of roads in the entire city, where a developed country with excess vehicles should have at least 20% of road in its city, Honorable Speaker. There are even many people who drive in the road without having license, or many have illegally. License are given to people who are able to drive, but if there are people who have no license, can mostly mean that they are lame at driving vehicle. When they can't drive vehicle properly, then they will do mistakes and they will do accidents sometimes. There are also strict laws against it, Honorable Speaker, but no one is following it because they are not aware of it. So, Honorable Speaker, I believe that mass awareness is the foremost duty to avoid traffic jam. If we can implement mass awareness, then there will be nothing of implementation by strict laws, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Speaker, traffic jam is a very common incident in our country. There is always traffic jam everywhere in the city. Speaker, why? Because of no strict law and people do not follow the traffic rules, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, if there is strict law, then everyone will bound to follow it. As human beings, we have a human nature. What is that nature? We do not want to follow any rules and regulations without strict law and strict system. So, Honorable Speaker, strict law is mandatory in this case, Honorable Speaker. We have to make strict law and implement this law, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, if our opposition party tell that mass awareness can avoid the traffic jam, Honorable Speaker, the digitalization can avoid the traffic jam. Urban areas, there are available zebra crossings, foot overbridge, etc. But people do not maintain and follow it, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, so how can we avoid traffic jam by mass awareness? Honorable Speaker, now let's talk about the effect of lack of strict law, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, in that road there is a sign that no overtaking, but because of lack of strict law, cars and buses overtake in a high speed. This can cause serious damage to the life of human, and many people can die also, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, because of these accidents, the intellectual's life will be gone. The best students of our country, they become injured and break their legs and hands, Honorable Speaker. So how is it possible by mass awareness and digitalization?
In other countries like America, China, Britain, there is also traffic jam. So how they try to solve it, Honorable Speaker? They use digital technologies, have our people and better town planning, Honorable Speaker. So for this reason, our team purely logically and factually believe that mass awareness and digitalization is the best way to avoid traffic jam, Honorable Speaker, not strict law. Honorable Speaker, digitalization of transportation system means to digitalize transportation system by using digital technologies and modern engineering, Honorable Speaker. For this Speaker. If we talk about digital technologies, then in case of traffic jam, then Speaker, first comes video detection and management. Is an increase in the flow of traffic. The green signal can be extended to allow the traffic or increase in traffic to dispatch. We can also use video detection for Speaker overall traffic monitoring. One can monitor road junctions in the traffic computer room without being directly present on the location of the speaker.
Point of question.
Yes, sir, please.
Actually, you are just talking about the developed countries. What about the developing and underdeveloping countries? They cannot afford to do digitalization. So what can we do in this case? In this case, I think only strict law is the point.
Sir, here the thing is that we are discussing about a thing which is gonna happen. The thing we are discussing here didn't happen yet. The result from this debate will show the upcoming result that will the bill pass. If the bill pass, then strict law will be as the best way to avoid traffic jam. Or if the bill doesn't pass, then traffic digitalization and mass awareness will be the best way to avoid traffic jam. So there is no developed country or developing country in this case because obviously the result is not final yet. So now the rebuttal session. In the rebuttal session, at first I would like to call upon the leader of the opposition of the House, Mr. Tanvir Ahmed Ayan, to deliver his speech on today's motion. Tanvir Ahmed Ayan.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for again giving me the floor. Honorable Speaker, in this whole debate, the opposition side have again and again tried to say that strict law is the best way. But Honorable Speaker, let me sort them out. At first, Honorable Speaker, the first speaker has told about there are many organizations Speaker, he also said that these are corrupted. So, Honorable Speaker, if these types of things are corrupted, then why they will be able to maintain the strict law, Honorable Speaker? Let me remind them that there is already thousands of strict law against this, but Honorable Speaker, they are not implemented. On the other hand, Honorable Speaker, he have also said that most of the people of our country are not literate. So, how will they be able to know about the mass awareness? Honorable Speaker, mass awareness is a process through which we make people aware. It doesn't mean they're literate or literate. For making people aware, they doesn't need to be high qualified educated. They only need to understand what I am trying to make him understand, Honorable Speaker. And if we talk about strict law, if they are not aware, if they are not unable to see, if they are not unable to understand what is the problem of the traffic jam which is being caused due to my activities, then why will they maintain the strict law, Honorable Speaker?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me another chance to explain today's motion. I would like to remind again that today's motion is strict law is the best way to avoid traffic jam. Honorable Speaker, opposition party has given many arguments against it, proving that awareness and digitalization is the best way to avoid traffic jam. But, Honorable Speaker, none of this can be compared with the strict law to reduce traffic jam. Honorable Speaker, many movements has taken place in our country to about the traffic jam. But, Honorable Speaker, by now, we get the newness of traffic jam. This proves that, Honorable Speaker, awareness is of no use.
It was really a good debate, and every debater was prepared, and they argue, and they make good arguments for their points. I was really impressed by all of them.
The government and opposition, both teams are strong enough, so it was really a tough competition, and it doesn't matter who loses or wins.
Actually, today's motion is strict law is the best way to avoid traffic jam. It's a burning question nowadays. All of the developing countries like Bangladesh, all of you know that it kills not only our valuable times, but also our economic growth. In this debate, both of the parties, government and opposition, tries to focus this problem with different types of information regarding ratio, statistics, idea, and all of you tries to solve this problem too. Actually, I became surprised and very much delighted to seeing such a debate.